The second part of speech that we're going to see is what we call nouns. Remember that nouns are words that refer to people, place, things, and ideas. There are common nouns and there are proper nouns. Let's see the difference. Common versus proper nouns. For example, planet is considered to be a common noun. We do not write planet with a capital letter, capital or uppercase letter. If you notice here, it is in lowercase letter because it's a common noun. If we were to give the name of a specific planet, then we would have to use a proper noun. In this case, we have to put an uppercase J. In this case, Jupiter. Planet, common noun. Jupiter, a proper noun. Tree is a common noun. Sycamore is a specific type of tree, so we have to put it with uppercase, and this is considered to be a proper noun. Game is a common noun. Jeopardy is a proper noun. So common nouns, we do not write with an uppercase letter. Proper nouns, we do write them with an uppercase letter or capital letter. Perfect. There are two types of nouns as well, okay? When they're singular or plural. These can be countable or non-countable nouns. Countable nouns are the ones that you can count, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can count them. Non-count nouns are the ones that we cannot count. They're not countable. Some examples of count nouns are nut. We can say nuts. Also, whenever we say that the noun is countable, this means that you can put it in S, okay? This means you can add S to the end of the word to make it plural, okay? To put it in the plural form. This is what it means, okay? So nut becomes nuts, hen becomes hens, door becomes doors, boy becomes boys, computer becomes computers, idea becomes ideas. Perfect. Now, for the nouns that we cannot count. For example, rain. You cannot count the rain. Money, you can count the currencies, but the concept of money, you cannot count. Grass, you cannot count grass. Confidence, you cannot count confidence. Laughter, the same thing. Oxygen. So these are nouns that we cannot count. So it is very important to remember that we do not put S. We do not say rains. We do not say confidences, never, or oxygens. Okay, they're never pluralized. We cannot put them in the plural form, so as to say. Perfect. We have some nouns that are considered to be irregular when we put them in the plural form. For example, tooth becomes teeth. Mouse becomes mice. Child becomes children. There are certain cases where my students say childs, or they will sometimes say children's. Be careful. Singular, one is child, two or more children. Man, men. Woman, we, women. The pronunciation changes a little bit in this case. Woman, woman, we, women. There are some other cases where the word doesn't change, okay? In the singular or in the plural form. Fish, it's always fish, unless you're talking about the different species of fish. Then you can say fishes. But typically, if we're talking about fish that we eat, it's always fish, two fish. Aircraft is always aircraft. We never pluralize it. Moose is moose, means. Another example is deers. We never say deers, we only say deer, okay? Sheep, the same. It's always sheep. Series is always series. And like that, okay? So we have the count nouns, the non-count nouns, and the irregular nouns in English. Perfect. When we're talking about nouns, there are two types. We have the normal nouns, so as to put it, and then we have the abstract nouns. So let's say you know the root of a word or you know the verb, but you're trying, no, you're speaking, but the way that you're putting your sentence, you don't want the verb, you want the noun of that word. How do you create these abstract nouns in English? Well, I'm here to help you. To create the abstract nouns in English, we need some endings. And each ending, okay, we put onto the word to create the nouns. For example, AGE, edge. We can say image, postage, suffrage, al. We can say arrival. So imagine you have the verb arrive, to arrive. If you want to say the noun, you say, oh, the arrival of the airplane. Okay, we have survival, deferral. Then we have dumb, kingdom, freedom, boredom. We have the double E, which is normally used to refer to a person. So interviewee, interviewee, employee, employee, trainee, trainee. So we stress the E a little bit because it's double E. We have ents and ants. Experience, convenience, finance. So whenever you see these endings, you can also identify, like quickly identify which group they belong to. Okay, nouns. So the moment you see these endings, you know that they are nouns. So this is telling you that you're supposed to use it as a noun in the sentence. Perfect. We have some other endings like ER, OR. Teacher, singer, director. These are nouns. Eerie or airy. Archery, cutlery, mystery. These are nouns. We have hood, neighborhood, childhood, brotherhood. These are nouns. Eats, economics, gymnastics, aquatics. Remember, whenever you see these endings, these are nouns. Or if you have the verb or the adjective form of the word and you want to create the noun, remember, you can add these endings. Perfect. Some other endings are ing, upbringing, reading, ism like constructivism, capitalism, environmentalism. ity, or t, community, probability, equality. Meant, accomplishment, acknowledgement, entertainment. Ness, happiness, business, steadiness. ry or re, entry, robbery, ministry. Ship, companionship, relationship, leadership, scholarship. Then we have the shuns. So shun, shun, shun. Information, expression, complexion, communication. And the structure, pressure, treasure. These are some of the common endings in English for the nouns when we want to create the abstract nouns in English. Perfect. I hope this was clear, it was helpful, and you're now better equipped to identify the nouns in English and you know how to use them in a sentence. Perfect. We will move on with the next part of this course in a moment.